What happens when love and music intertwine? Find out in Lee Adams' newest release, Love on Tour. Set against the backdrop of a thrilling concert tour, this story explores passion, heartbreak, and finding your true melody. Perfect for anyone who believes in second chances and unforgettable moments. Don't miss out. Pre-order your copy at leeadamsbooks.com today and be part of the story that will rock your world.
Hey everyone, it's Rich Bennett. Can you believe it? The show is turning 10 this year. I am so grateful for each and every one of you who've tuned in, shared an episode, or even joined the conversation over the years. You're the reason that this podcast has grown into what it is today. Together, we've shared laughs, tears, and moments that truly matter. So I want to thank you for being part of this journey. Let's make the next 10 years even better.
Coming to you from the Freedom Federal Credit Union Studios, Hartford County Living presents Conversations with Rich Bennett.
Slow pitch transfer.
It's probably the least sexy part of organizing. That's okay. No. The truth is,
Imagine you and a friend of yours work at a local putt-putt place. And then you have to face off against a demonic cult that actually kidnapped your friend, and they are threatening to destroy your hometown. Sounds kind of scary, doesn't it? Well, there's a movie made about this, and I'll be honest with you, I watched it, and I was rolling. I was laughing. And I have one of the writers and one of the stars on this episode. He's from Havre de Grace, local guy. And I think number one, if you watch the movie, you're going to enjoy it. I believe you will, because I did. So definitely watch it. It's called Gothic Slayers. And on this episode, I have Ben Getz on. He came all the way from New York City just for this.
Just to do this show. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, people know I'm lying. That's it, man. You have the, although when this airs, it'll already be done because it's Friday tonight.
It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow
night. Yeah, so we're doing the premiere of Gothic Slayers, which is the movie in Havre de Grace.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So it was released beginning of March.
Yeah, so we did a premiere in LA, out in Hollywood at the Chinese Theater.
Oh man.
It was very cool. Yeah, with all the, the place with all the handprints and of
was that your first time out there?
It was not my first time in LA. But it was my first time premiering a movie out there.
That had to be a rush.
It was really cool. And we were in the same theater complex as the new Captain America was releasing the same night.
Wow.
So it was crazy. They'd shut down the whole street. Not for us, but for Captain America.
It's all right. You can believe it was for you, man.
Exactly. A little bit for us.
Yeah.
And we were in a theater that was, a couple stories above theirs, but it was really cool. It was a neat experience.
Oh, man. All right. So before Gothic Slayers, when you were in high school, because you went Havre de Grace High School, right? Is acting something you always wanted to do?
Yeah, it was something I grew up doing. I had a lot of cousins that were doing it. My mom was a dancer when she was younger.
Really?
So the first thing that I did was she threw me into dance classes.
Okay.
Which was really not my cup of tea, but I liked being on stage. And so I started acting and sort of carried that through. And I did all the musicals at the high school. Yeah.
Oh, so you sing too?
A little bit. You don't make me sing.
Okay,
yeah.
Right. Don't worry, I won't do that. So then, what you went off to college? I take it.
Yeah, I went to NYU for theater.
Oh, nice.
Okay. And then stayed up in New York after I graduated.
All right, so take us after college, because I know to get into acting, it can be hard. I had another gentleman on from here, Connor Perkins, who lives.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I know Connor.
Connor? Uh-huh. Okay. So, and I think he's on Chicago Med.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Which I thought when they film a series, they do it all in one shot. And he said, no, they can say you have to come tomorrow.
Totally.
It's like, holy crap.
Yeah.
So what was the first thing that you did after college? And how long did it take?
Yeah. I mean, the first thing, luckily, I had an agent through college,
Okay.
like while I was in college. So the nice thing about being in New York was that I could audition for things that were happening in New York while I was still in school.
Right.
The school didn't love for you to go do that because
Really?
I think they're worried that you're going to make it big and then they're out there, 60
gonna
grand a
school.
year or something.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So they don't love for you to do that. But I was like, this is the whole reason I'm here.
Yeah.
So I was in small things here and there, but then the first sort of bigger thing, senior year, I booked my little spot in Blue Bloods.
Okay.
So that was the first thing that I sort of really did. And I think it was same year I was in the first my first feature film as a starring role that ended up getting released on Netflix, which was really cool.
And what was that?
That one's called Uncaged.
Okay.
And I play a werewolf.
Werewolf?
Yeah,
okay,
exactly. Yeah.
You were the werewolf?
I was the werewolf. I was waking up. So the whole shtick was that I would tear off my clothes, at night, and then I'd wake up in the morning back to my human form, but I'd be naked because I would have torn it off. So yeah, that was a whole thing.
Doesn't mean it was a porno, people.
Yeah, right. Although you can watch it on Pornhub. No, no, not
So
yet.
how long did that take?
That movie?
Yeah.
I think we shot that over 3 weeks, maybe.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Was it a short film?
No, it was a feature length.
In 3 weeks?
Yeah, we actually shot my film in 4 weeks.
Gothic Slayers.
Mm-hmm, correct.
All right. Well, yeah, but with the werewolf, wasn't that a lot of makeup and everything? Or
It was. Yeah, we were doing all prosthetics. So instead of it being VFX, it was all done naturally, which is really cool. But yeah. I mean, the process of putting on the prosthetics and stuff took about 3 hours each time we had to shoot it. But yeah.
Holy cow. So all right, how many, because I know with movies, a lot of times you don't shoot in sequence.
Right.
So how many times did you have to put on everything for the werewolf? Because I would hope they would shoot it all at one.
Yeah, it was probably about, I would say maybe 6 times, 7 times.
Okay.
Yeah, the thing that really screwed me up was I had to wear colored contacts, which I don't wear contacts in general, but also these contacts, this was a low budget film. They weren't getting contacts specifically. Normally when you get contacts, they're made to fit their curve your eye.
Yeah.
These were not. And they really bothered me. And then for about 3 days after I took them out, I couldn't see straight. And I thought my vision was screwed. I thought I was done. But luckily it ended up being fine. My eye was just irritated. But I was like, oh great, I did this for this indie film. I just lost my vision. And it's like, this is how it's gonna go down. But yeah.
I wouldn't be able to I can't even put eye drops in my own eyes.
I still have issues with that stuff. It's like when you have a whole crew of people that are waiting for you to get, you'll be amazed at how quickly you can get contacts in because you're like, I don't want to let these people down. But if I was just at home trying to do it, I don't think I'd ever be able to get it in.
No way I'd be able to.
Yeah.
So now, is that still available on Netflix?
It's not on Netflix. I think it's probably on a free streaming
like Tubi or
exactly,
something?
or Freevee or something like that. Yeah.
Interesting. I'll have to watch that. Okay. Yeah. So actually, how many films have you done altogether so far?
I've only done 3 feature films, but I've done an array of short films and things like that.
What's your favorite to do? Because I love short films.
Yeah,
I love the indie films.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, the favorite so far has been to do Gothic Slayers because it was something that I wrote. Versus the other things, I didn't write any of those things.
So this is the first thing that you've written?
Yeah, first feature film. Yeah. I've written some small sketch sort of things, like SNL style sort of things that we shot with some friends, in your apartment and things like that. But this was the first real thing that we sort of made.
All right. So Gothic Slayers. How in the world did you come up with this idea? Because you watched the preview and you can't help but laugh your ass off.
That's good.
I mean,
that's what we're going for.
Good.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in Havre de Grace, as you said, and I grew up in Hartford County. And when we were so I wrote this with my friend that I met at NYU. Mm-hmm. And when we were writing together, I sort of brought this idea. I said, Dylan, it would be great if we wrote with these certain places in mind that we could possibly shoot. So we were really looking
makes
to
it a
make
lot
this
easier,
thing.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So a lot of times you'll write a movie and then you'll have to find the place
Right.
to match, which is tough because your imagination is never really going to match up with
Right.
what exists, right? And this was a weird thing where we were going backwards, where I was like, I really want to shoot it at the mini golf course at Churchville Mini Golf.
So that's the first thing that came to your mind.
Yeah,
Really?
I was like, yeah, some different spots there, the Arctic Circle. I
Yeah.
always loved
Yeah.
that sort of complex, right? It's all there.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, it would be cool if we were some slackers at this mini golf place and something happens. And we had wanted to make something that was sort of genre-y, so something that was a little bit of horror. And so when we were talking about a cult coming into town and these guys sort of battling it, we were like, okay, this is where it's at. So that's kind of how it started.
How long did it take you to write?
Oh man, we actually wrote it very quickly. It probably took us maybe a couple months over the whole genesis of it. So I think what we like to do is we like to bullet point everything out.
Yeah.
So instead of writing any line down, we'll say, okay, the movie starts with they're at the mini golf course and then this happens. And then, so we bullet point it
writing
out.
a book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we dealt with the dialogue.
Okay.
Then we go through, and then in the process of writing the dialogue, sometimes you'll get other ideas where you're like, oh, maybe they go to a convenience store and they fall through the roof of a convenience store. The normal ideas we have. But so we went through that process, and then there's a couple rewrites.
Right.
So all in all, I think we had about probably 2 months, but it was pretty quick. The first draft came about pretty quickly.
When I watched the trailer, the first thing it reminded me of was taking a horror movie and adding either Bill and Ted or Wayne's World.
Yes.
That's what
we
I
get
thought
Bill and
of.
Ted all the time. Yeah, which is great. I mean, that's what we were going for.
Yeah.
Honestly, the film, so it's a horror comedy, right? And
Right.
you never hear someone call a movie a comedy horror because they don't lead with that.
Right.
But it's definitely a comedy horror if that were to be a thing. So it's much more comedy. The horror aspects it's not gory. It's
Yeah.
not that scary, honestly. It's tough because everyone wants to put a movie into a box.
Mhm.
And this movie, we weren't writing for it to fit into a specific box. So there are some
You
horror.
were thinking outside that box.
Exactly. Yeah. So some of those horror fans are not the most, it doesn't scratch that itch of theirs,
Right.
where it's this gory thing or it's whatever. But it's a comedy. It's like if you added some sort of supernatural elements to Superbad or to Step Brothers or it's that sort of thing.
Oh, I can't wait for it. You know what? I'm just going to have to go home and buy it, man.
You're gonna have to, I guess.
Well, yeah. And you think, especially since it's done local,
Mm-hmm.
and that's something you want to keep in personally, me, I would like to keep in my library.
Yeah.
Because you could go back and watch it at any time.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know, man. It looks very good. It's what, 90 minutes?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's quick. We were really big fans of, like I said, Superbad
Right.
and
Yeah, it's one movie I haven't seen yet.
really? Oh,
I
you should
watch that,
rent
yeah.
that too. But that and Step Brothers and I don't know if you ever saw Nacho Libre.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a wrestling fan, so I had to see that.
Yeah, we love that film. That was a film. We actually made a musical version of Nacho Libre
Come
at
on.
NYU. Yeah.
Get out of
Yeah,
here.
we loved it that much that we were like, we have to do this.
Oh, man.
And I was able to tell Jack Black at one point, I met him and I said, this is crazy. We made this Nacho Libre musical. And he was like, oh my God, that movie is like ripe for a musical. And at the time we had video of it, but it was nowhere to be seen.
Right.
And he was like, can I YouTube it? And I was like, no.
Oh,
I was trying to get his
man.
email and he went off and his publicist went off. And I was like, oh, shoot. But yeah, it was crazy. But we loved all those films.
Yeah.
And we felt like there hadn't been a film like that in a while. And that was sort of why we wanted to make this. Those films that were fun, but yet you're not like, you don't leave after watching it thinking about it for days and
Right.
like, what did they mean? And what's the meaning of this? And blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, we just wanted something that you could sit down, have a fun 90 minutes, and then you're not really troubled with it afterwards. And if you are thinking about it afterwards, hopefully it's
You'll
that
go
you had
back
a
to
good
watch it
time.
again.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Napoleon Dynamite.
Right,
First
exactly.
time I watched that, I didn't get it.
Yeah,
But I had to go back and watch it again, and then it made more sense.
yeah,
Another Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That's another one.
yeah.
Some people watch it the first time and they're like,
what the heck?
Yeah. You go back and watch again, and then you're remembering the lines and everything. And it's just, I have a funny feeling that's the way this is going to be.
I hope. There's some lines that people quote, which is really nice. I mean, that's like the biggest compliment that we can get, right?
All right. What's your favorite line?
We have a bit where Dylan's character, we're in this frenzy that we've just discovered this cult. So I tell him to Google it, and he looks it up and he goes, "All I'm getting is horses." And he turns the computer around and he goes, "You looked up cults, not cults." So that's one of my favorite lines.
All right, and with that scene, because you two are repeating each other.
Yes.
All right, was that shot separately?
No, we did it at the same. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How many takes did that take?
Well, what was
crazy?
How many takes did that take? Well, so in a movie, you're getting all these different viewpoints, right?
Yeah.
So you'll set up the camera. We had 2 cameras, which was nice because it saved us time. But you're going to get a wide shot, and you're going to get a close shot, and you're going to get a shot of Dylan's character, and you're going to get a shot of me doing it. So you have a bunch of takes. And the first time we did it, so it's this monologue that we both say at the same time. And actually, the first time we did it, we nailed it. And everyone was so impressed. They were like, "Oh, my God." And then probably 4 subsequent takes, we could not get it right. It was like we had sort of
the first take.
Yeah. And then I think we ended up doing a couple more, take 6 and take 7 that we got it right for the close-ups or things. But yeah, it was kind of crazy. It took us a while. I was really scared. And that morning, we just kept sort of repeating it to ourselves because I go off script a lot, like sort of improv stuff.
That's good.
And not even huge things, just like certain words will be flipped or something. But for something like that, where you're saying the exact same thing, it has to be word perfect. So that's why we really had to drill it into our brains.
But isn't that a technique that they also taught you in acting school?
How to memorize?
Well, doing the mirror.
Oh,
I guess it's called mirror talking.
Yeah, some like Meisner technique. Yeah. Yeah, there's this whole sort of train of acting thought that if you keep repeating a line to each other, that you'll find emotion through that. I think it's kind of crazy, but
when I saw that, I'm like, there ain't no way. And you got the first take was the bomb.
It was the bomb. That was probably the one that's in the movie, honestly. Yeah.
That is awesome, man.
Yeah.
So any other actors from Harford County in it?
Yeah, there are.
Okay.
So what was really cool was we did some local casting, but it was actually great. I brought some friends and some local personalities. There's this guy, Jimmy O. Burrell, who is like this Havre de Grace local. He was friends with my parents, and he's great. He plays this creepy prisoner. It was a lot of like one day things that we got these people in for. It was great. And another friend of mine from high school, Lamar Leonard, he plays this cop. And what was really cool was I'd actually cast him in a different role in the film, but our cop dropped out last minute, and the cop was supposed to come down from Philly the day before we found out. And I was like, Lamar, could you come in and play the cop? And we had given him other scenes to memorize. So he came in sort of with, I would say, maybe 6 hours of being able to memorize this scene, and he came in and killed it. It was great. He's in the trailer too.
Is he the one behind the counter?
Yes.
All right. Is he smoking weed or something behind there?
What's so funny? Okay, this is a great like inside story. It was that we had wanted him to smoke this cigarette, and he doesn't smoke cigarettes, but he does smoke weed, which hopefully Lee will hear. But if it's not, he doesn't smoke weed. But
it's legal here.
Yeah.
No.
So, but he was he's smoking that cigarette like it's weed. It's so funny. But poor guy had to smoke that cigarette. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm sitting there seeing all this smoke. I'm like, they're sitting there getting hot.
Yeah.
I lost it.
Yeah, it's funny because on that scene it's inside this police station, and he's got this no smoking sign in front of him, and that was the whole bit. Yeah.
All right, so because the trailer kicks ass, how hard is that to just figure out which clips to pull from the movie to make the trailer? Because the trailer is what's going to pull people in.
Yeah.
But you don't want to give too. Because you see movies where the trailer's better than the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So how hard is that to do?
Making a trailer is a whole art in and of itself.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy because, right, you want to present the movie and you want to show them some exciting things that happen in the movie, but right, you don't want to give everything away.
Right.
You don't want to sometimes you'll see a comedy and all the funny lines were in the trailer.
Yeah.
And then you're watching another 90 minutes you're like, oh, I already know those jokes. So it's tough. But yeah, I'll say luckily there are a bunch of funny parts in the movie that we were trying to get more into the trailer and we were like, we can't have a 5-minute trailer. This would be crazy. So that was nice that we had a lot to pull from, but it took a while. It took us sort of going through the movie, pulling out certain things that we all liked and just playing with it. And it took a while. What was really annoying was we had hired someone to make a trailer for us. And we felt really bad because we kept sort of taking back control. We were like, oh, actually, but it's your baby, right? You know what works.
Especially when you're writing it too.
Yeah. So we kind of cut the trailer together ourselves and then kind of sent it to the person and said, hey, kind of make this a little nicer, play with the sound, play with the things that, the technical things that you have to play with. But yeah, it's a whole art to it because you're right. You don't want to give it away. You want to make it funny, but it's tough.
That's something that, because at the same time, the trailer could really suck, which ain't going to pull people in.
Right.
It's like hit and miss, I would think.
Yeah.
With that. But with your trailer, I mean, I was just rolling.
I'm glad it spoke to you.
Oh, it did. Big time. I got to watch it. And then I got upset. You're listening to Conversations with Rich Bennett. We'll be right back. I want to tell you about my friends over at Elite Power Washing. They take care of pressure washing, house washing, roof cleaning, gutter cleaning. They are truly the elite company when it comes to pressure washing. To see their work, to see what they've done, everything looks brand new. And there are even a lot of businesses out there that use them as well. Sean and Tina and their crew know what they're doing. They know how to make your property look like it's brand new. And again, I mean, they handle everything. Pressure washing, house washing, which, yes, there is a difference. Roof cleaning, gutter cleaning, window cleaning, concrete cleaning, paver cleaning, deck cleaning. So whether you're in Baltimore, Hartford, or Cecil County, if you need something taken care of when it comes to pressure washing, call the Elite Power Washing team. They will get it done for you. They are the exterior cleaning professionals. They know what they're doing. Go to elitepowerwashingmd.com or call them at 410-705-9274. Again, it's 410-705-9274. Tell them Rich from Hartford County Living sent you. Because it's like, okay, it's on Prime. Wait a minute, what do you mean not? I think it did say not available at first when I first saw it. And then it might be rent or buy.
Yeah, it should be available. Yeah, it's on Prime. It's on Apple TV.
Oh, it's on Apple TV too?
It's on Google Play, but it's all rent or buy for the moment. Yeah.
But it ain't that much.
No, it's like $5 to rent it, $10 to own it, which is great.
I mean, years ago, to buy a DVD would cost you more than that. Probably still cost you more than that. I know,
yeah. When I remember, I don't know if they're still doing this, but right, there's some releases that get released and it's like $20 or something, which is not crazy, but it's like, yeah, I mean, for the price of a movie ticket now, right? You can just own that thing at home and watch it whenever you want. And it really is a film that's just a nice kind of at-home watch where you're like, you just want to put something mindless on that'll make you laugh and you're not thinking too hard.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, there's just so many movies out nowadays that are great. It's like pieces of cinema and they're artistic and they're, sort of have lofty themes and, really make you think. And that's awesome. But it's like, I just want to relax and watch something like Hot Rod or, something stupid.
You can just sit there and laugh to.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what this is.
All right. So at the end, without giving away the end, will people think there's supposed to be a sequel?
We kind of leave it open to the possibility.
Okay.
Yeah. If a big time producer wants to come in and fund a sequel, that'd be great. But we've run out of money. But if someone wants to come in, if this takes off, if enough listeners want to, go and fund our next one, yeah, there's a bit of a open end there.
Well, and I guess 'cause that's something a lot of people don't even think about either, is because you guys, you're not big time movie producers.
Yeah.
So you got to get that budget and everything. How does that work? How do you go about? Is it like a business? You know, a lot when you start a business, you look for investors.
Yeah.
Is it the same way when you're putting together a movie?
Yeah, totally. It's getting that out there. I mean, people have different ways nowadays with GoFundMe.
Right.
A lot of people have financed things that way.
That,
right.
yeah.
But you go and you give people what they call points on the back end, which is
credits.
Exactly. Right. And credits, but also points are like a percentage of the profit that's made from the film.
Okay, gotcha.
Things like that. It's tough though. It's going to family and friends and contacts and
right.
Especially when you're doing it's your first movie, right? When you have a track record or something, you could go to bigger producers. But that's what's crazy. I mean, you look at a budget. I don't know if you know that film Nora. That was this huge indie darling this year. It won the Oscar for best film, but it had a budget, I forget, of like maybe $6 million, and everyone's talking about how small that budget was. It was so small, the $6 million budget. Yeah, because most of these Hollywood films are $30 to $100 million. So something like 6 is small. And I was like, oh my God, if we had $6 million, it would be insane.
Holy cow.
If we had even had $1 million, it would be amazing, right? So, it was what was kind of crazy with this film was we were able to get such high level people onto the film just because they loved the script and they loved the idea of shooting this in this small town. And it was really great because we have some really great talent there. We have Quinn Hemphill, who was just in the new Bad Boys.
Okay.
She plays the girl who gets like abducted, which is really cool. We have some cool. We have actors in from LA, from New York, from Atlanta. We really flew in like some big talent. Our director's from LA, and he actually brought in his crew from LA into Havre de Grace, which was great for the local business because we basically put up for 3 weeks an LA crew into local houses, into Airbnbs, into hotels and things like that. And they were just there the whole time. So that was really great. But yeah, and people were working for, less than they should be, but for the love of this film, which was really amazing.
I'm trying to think. I think the last thing that may have been filmed here was probably House of Cards.
Well, what was crazy? Okay, this is another story.
Okay,
we, hopefully your podcast love stories. We went to Churchville Mini Golf and we went to the Arctic Circle and we went to these places in Harford County and we were like, would you mind if we filmed here?
Right.
And they were like, no, of course, like come in, which was so amazing. And they were
probably
like, we've never had,
and
they were like, we've never had something film here. And it was really cool. And then about 2 weeks before we start filming, we had Lioness, which is this new TV show that has Zoe Saldana on it. And oh my God, I'm forgetting the Australian actress, Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman was in it. They also had Lady on the Lake or something like that had Natalie Portman in it. And all of these like local productions were shooting. I mean, the Lioness.
Here in Harford County?
Lioness actually shot at the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Yes. Like 2 weeks before we got there. And it was crazy. So after these huge productions come in, it was like we were nothing after that, which was nice. It was nice that they were sort of paving the way for us to go there. And
I had no idea.
It was crazy. Yeah. Well, the part of the reason that we had to use so much LA crew was because we wanted to use some more Maryland crew members.
Right.
They were all on those local productions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we had to fly in our own crew, which was kind of crazy. And we were honestly battling these other productions for equipment. We were and we were losing most of the battles that we were going up because this is, Paramount and Fox that are doing these. But there were a couple of times that we won, which was really amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow, man.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But yet you guys still did it in 4 weeks.
Yeah, we did it in 3 weeks.
Or 3 weeks. 4 weeks is the werewolf.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or actually, that might have been shorter, but yeah.
3 weeks.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Damn. What are you doing? Working around the clock?
We were working pretty hard. We didn't do many takes of things other than that scene that we were talking the same time.
Yeah.
We were getting 2-3 takes of something and moving on. It was real quick.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And what was great was that the actors were all on board and they were all really hitting their stuff. I mean, if they weren't giving the performance, of course we would have done more takes, but they were really nailing the performance in the first 2 takes and we were able to move on.
All right. So with this movie, when it comes to the festivals, do you have to submit a movie to the festival, like with the Grammys and all that? You do. Did you submit to any festivals?
We submitted to a couple big ones, Sundance, South by Southwest. We didn't make it in. And what's kind of crazy about festivals is that you have to have a lot of things working for you. You have to have some big name talent. The genre has to be right. So this isn't a hard hitting film, right? There's nothing about it. It's not it's a comedy. It's not a dark comedy. There's nothing pulling at the heartstrings.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's no like real big diversity play here. It's tough to get into these festivals, especially without the backing of a studio nowadays.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy because these festivals were created for indie films.
Right.
And the whole idea is that all the films in a festival will be independent, but a lot of times those films will already be bought by an Amazon or a Netflix or something like that. And what they'll do is they'll say, we're not going to announce it until you play the festival, so that they get the press and everything from being in the festival. And then they'll go, oh, Amazon bought it for $20 million or something, even though they had already purchased it before it even hit the festivals. So it's crazy. And a lot of big producers will back these films and, have inroads to these festivals.
Right.
But honestly, this movie would never really have had a spot at a festival because it's a fun comedy. And you're not going to see a Step Brothers at Sundance or,
That's true.
It's just not that type of film.
Yeah.
But we do have a distributor, they're based out of Ohio actually, but they're in this horror genre space that we're in. And they, like, one of their other films that I love is called Extraordinary, which has Will Forte in it.
Okay.
It's a fun film.
Probably why I heard about it.
Yeah, he's a fun guy. But anyway, it's So we're distributed and we're kind of just doing it on our own.
So is this what you want to keep doing, the horror comedies?
I think definitely comedies.
Yeah.
I think our next one, if we were to do one, would lean maybe more into the horror space. There's such a huge fan base of horror that we feel like we didn't really get into with this one because we didn't go so horror. And I think if we leaned into that a little bit more, the horror fans would really come flocking.
There's a lot of places around here where you could record some good horror.
Oh my God,
especially with the stories.
Yeah. I know if you take one of the local stories and shoot it here, right?
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, you hear the ghost stories, you hear the different murders and everything. Yeah. I mean, hell, right down the road here we had the cannibal.
I mean,
it's like there's
and
the other thing is too and a lot of people don't realize this, but all the different actors from Maryland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh man, if you could pull them all together and put
I
something
know.
together.
I was I forget his name, which is not great, but he was an actor on The Good Wife, Joshua Charles.
Okay.
Who I think he was on The Wire as well, but he's from Baltimore.
Yeah.
I was thinking about asking him to be a part in the film, but I just never did it. But yeah, he's a local guy. But yeah, I know if you could sort of play into that local thing. That's what's amazing about sort of Harford County and Maryland in general is that there are so many different sort of scenery here that you can shoot. Like there's cornfields, but there's little towns and there's woods and you just get everything. There's the water. That was what was so amazing about this because we have this scene in a cornfield that we went and we chopped down probably a 10 by 10 foot area of corn and we set up a living room in this corn in the movie, which was like, where else can you do that? You know, that's like, this is really awesome.
You guys ever think about doing any parodies?
I mean, yeah.
I don't know why, but
what's your idea?
Talk about Field of Dreams, but the old players that are coming out are zombies.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, right?
I mean, just if you build it, yeah, they will come all right
not a bad
and eat
idea.
your brains.
That's not a bad idea. You should go home and write this, and we'll make this.
Hell, I'm still working on my book. That's been taking me over a year. I mean, come on. And the funny thing is, growing up, when I was younger, before I got into music, I loved writing scripts. And I just always wanted to do that.
It's not too late.
But I fell into music, and instead I started writing music, and now just doing this. I love doing this.
Oh, what's cool? Do you know Ballyhoo?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, so we have two of the songs.
Howie?
Yeah.
Sorry.
We have two songs from Ballyhoo in the movie.
Really?
Too, which is great. Yeah. Yeah, they were really awesome in letting us use those. It was really cool.
Is he still doing his podcast, do you know?
Oh, I don't know.
I know he was doing a podcast for a while. Yeah, we went and saw them a couple years ago at Pier 6. They opened up for Revolution.
Oh, amazing.
Awesome concert.
Yeah. We saw them in New York. I mean, they're really touring.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, they're great.
They got a strong fan base, and it ain't just for the people from here.
Yeah.
They got a good following.
I think they sold out the New York show. It was awesome.
Oh, it's awesome to see how well they're doing. Them, All Time Lows, another band from here. Actually, are they back touring? I can't remember now. I don't know. Who knows? All right, so what's the next big thing for Ben Getz?
Yeah, I'm going to be in a play up in Williamstown Theater Festival, which is up in the Berkshires. And that's going to be over the summer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we're going to get some cool – I can't announce the cast, actually, because they haven't announced it yet. But there are some really big-name people in it from, like, TV that you would recognize. Yeah, so going to be in a play up there. I mean, that's a trek from here. But other than that, I'm still auditioning. We've written a couple other ideas that we're pitching around, and hopefully someone bites and wants to help make it with us.
So apparently you still love doing theater.
Yeah. That I don't know if that ever dies.
I don't. You know, it's funny because I've talked to other actors, and it's the ones that have done theater. Even if they go off and do the big movies, it's just something about theater that they love to go back and do.
Yeah.
And look how many of these top actors are going back and doing it. Mm-hmm. I was watching a documentary. Was it Yeah, I think it was a documentary on Robin Williams. Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize that's where he started.
Yeah.
Was in theater.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the other one? No, I don't think it was Gene Wilder. It may have been. I can't remember. But Matthew Broderick.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Of course.
And I think your best actors actually come from there.
I agree. I think so, too. And what's really tough, I think theater actors can do film. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times it's hard for film actors to do theater.
Yes.
Because it is a different type of acting where you're acting to the back of that house, of 500, 1,000 people, where in film acting, it's such small things.
Right.
And I find it's easier to sort of tune it down versus having to tune it up. I feel like that's tough.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you've done theater,
mm-hmm.
You've done movies, you've done TV. What's the hardest?
I think theater is. Okay. It's more memorizing. It's more draining. The pay is worse, so it's harder on the bank account. It's probably easier on the soul, I would say. It's more soul fulfilling. There's something about having a crowd in front of you and knowing that you're getting to them in that moment,
right.
And hearing the applause at the end, which kind of fills you up in a way that you make a film and
there's no crowd.
I mean, we shot this film back in 2022, I think. So it's been
Gothic Slayers?
Yeah, so it's been like 3 years.
Wow.
So you do it, and then it's not out for 3 years, and there's parts of you that are still in it, but parts of you are gone, and it's sort of, and you never really hear good feedback,
right.
Unless you're searching for it online or something. And then if you're searching for it online, you're finding a lot of bad feedback too.
Right.
It's like restaurant reviews. It's like people rarely leave them if they're good, and they only leave reviews if they're bad. We've been getting some good reviews, but
I was going to say, according to IMDb, the reviews have been pretty damn good.
It is good. It's hard not to focus on the bad ones though. That's a bad trait, right?
Well, and that's with anything.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what I love about that, and I found this out with my one business, a lot of times, if you're doing good stuff, if somebody leaves that bad review, a lot of times it generates good review, a lot of good reviews.
That's interesting.
I found that out.
Yeah.
And with one of my clients who's a restaurant, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody wrote a bad review because it was during an election year and they didn't want to play the election results on TV. They play sports.
Yeah.
And somebody got upset, put a bad review, and all of a sudden it's like all these strong, good reviews start pouring in.
Well, that's great. It's great when you have people to rally around you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you get that following and everything. All right. So tell everybody why they need to go on either Amazon Prime, Apple Plus TV. Am I missing one?
No, I mean, it's on Google Play. It's on
Google
YouTube
Play,
Movies.
Why they need to go out and rent or purchase Gothic Slayers.
It's a fun time. It's really a fun time. If you are a fan of sort of these nostalgic films, that it'll bring you back to the 90s.
Yeah.
That's what it really is. We have some like fun video game aspects in it where we turn into like video game characters and it's all pixelated. It's just really a trip down like memory lane, and it really is like those films of Superbad, and
right.
It's like Superbad meets Stranger Things. I think I said it.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's fun. It's just those fun movies that we grew up with. That you're not, it's not your Conclave, and it's not your Anora, and it's not these hard hitting films. It's just a fun time that's made locally, and you're going to see a lot of local sites in it too, which is really fun.
All right, so I'm going to give it a new type of rating here. Yeah, and I learned this with romance novels. I had an author on that her books, she said, are 3 chili peppers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which I didn't know.
How spicy is the romance novel?
Yeah. So we're I can't believe I'm going to say this.
Okay. Yeah.
Adults, how many pairs of Depends will somebody go through from laughing their ass off and pissing themselves?
Nice. I love it. Wow. We're hoping it's a 5 out of 5 on the Depends chart. Really?
I may have started something new.
That's it, right? Yeah.
Cow.
Wow. Yeah. We hope you really piss yourself. Because we are sponsored by Depends. Yeah, that's 100%. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. Wow. I hadn't really thought of that way. I feel like I'm gonna have some weird dreams tonight. So thank you for that, Rich.
The sequel will have all the cult players
wearing Depends, right? They really become a huge sponsor of it. Yeah.
God, that would be
fully funded by the Depends. Yeah.
Oh damn. Ben, is there anything you would like to add?
No, I think that was great. Yeah, go watch it, rent it, buy it. Leave us a good review if you like it. If you don't like it, please don't leave a review. But that's it. Yeah, I hope people watch it and enjoy it and get a kick out of seeing some of these local Harford County spots in it.
All right, so some of these people that are producers, directors, casting, other actors, how do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, you could probably find contact info on IMDb. Honestly, if they want to hit me up on Instagram, they can. If anyone listening has any questions about making a film or anything and they want to hit me up, they can do that too. I mean, I love helping, local people as well, or anyone, honestly. But it's really fun to get the local sort of thing into this because I've always wanted to come back and do the film here and seeing. I already had some people reach out, and it's just been really great to sort of help out in any way that I can.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Ben, thanks a lot.
Yeah,
man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to the Conversations with Rich Bennett. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and learned something from it as I did. If you'd like to hear more conversations like this, be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you have a moment, I'd love it if you could leave a review. It helps us reach more listeners and share more incredible stories. Don't forget to connect with us on social media or visit our website at conversationswithrichbennett.com for updates, giveaways, and more. Until next time, take care, be kind, and keep the conversations going.
This is Jordan Lally with the Ed Lally Foundation and the acoustic rock band Big Infinite, inviting you to a very special live music event at the Havre de Grace Opera House on May 23rd. We will be hosting not only a concert, but an experience of togetherness and connection for everyone in attendance. And all proceeds from this event go to benefit the Ed Lally Foundation's mental health and suicide prevention outreach. We would love for you to join us. For more details or to purchase tickets, visit edlallyfoundation.org or head over to the Havre de Grace Opera House website.